From the flight deck side window, the view of Fiji's main island coming into view was a welcome sight for the crew aboard. The imminent arrival of this rare visitor, a cause of curiosity for the local population, some of whom went to extraordinary lengths to get a better view. With sadly only just over an hour to refuel the aircraft, the onboard engineers having to check all the systems were continuing to function properly, there was little time to explore this diverse chain of islands nestled in the beautiful South Seas. As the minutes ticked away and the final preparations were being made for the last leg across the Pacific to Sydney, the passengers were serenaded Fiji style with a dual rendition of the John Denver number on a jet plane. With the skyline of Australia's most famous city only 2 hours away, the crossing of the world's largest ocean at Mach 2 was rapidly becoming part of aviation history. Having crossed half the world in record-breaking time, the realization of what we'd achieved started to set in. As the passengers continued to enjoy the buzz of Sydney, having covered a staggering 11,447 miles since departing New York, Concorde Alpha Delta was well due for a service. Whilst down under, there was no shortage of Qantas engineers volunteering for the task, under the watchful eye of BA's own Concorde technicians, the supersonic jet receiving a thorough check. With a warning light indicating a possible fault earlier, with one of the aircraft's inertial navigation system boxes, a new replacement was flown in especially from London, ready for Concorde's departure later in the day. 7 days into the trip and 4 sectors behind them. Back in town, the passengers checked out of their luxury hotel for the 20-minute drive back to the departure gate at Sydney's main Kingsford Smith Airport. As they negotiated the Sydney freeways, the crew were already on the tarmac waiting for Concorde Alpha Delta's arrival from the hangar. As the aircraft was slowly towed along the web of airport taxiways towards the gate, with departure only an hour away, the race against time to fully prepare the supersonic jet for departure was to begin. On board, it was literally all hands on deck as the scheduled departure time edged ever closer.
Okay, everybody, as soon as you finish your press, will you give me a shout, because they're dying to board passengers anyway. I know it's difficult with everybody around, but as soon as you get things going, you let me know. All good stuff, isn't it? Absolutely.
With 7,186 miles and a refuelling stop in Guam ahead, this sector was to prove the most testing yet for the crew, both in the cabin and on the flight deck.
My first round-the-world speed record flight of October 12th to 13th, 92, did Guam Bangkok in 3 hours, 0 minutes, and 39 seconds. We got permission to boom Imelda Marcos' hometown, a place called Tacloban, Philippines. We can't do that again. We're going to go around the northern tip of the Philippines, so that's 3 hours and 16 minutes. Now, some of you also asked me why we're taking such a circuitous routing. The Concorde has a problem with rough runways, and since last summer they've had to measure the runways for roughness everywhere it goes. Nobody ever got around to measuring either Darwin, Australia, or Perth, Australia, both of which would have made for a shorter flight today. Guam, however, has been measured.
After a gourmet lunch at the highest and fastest restaurant on the planet, a view of the Great Barrier Reef was just visible as we flew on the edges of the stratosphere, 59,000 feet up, 12 miles above the Earth.